A major step tonight in a special meeting. The CCSD Board of Trustees approves contracts for two separate unions. They represent administrators and support staff. But the deal with the largest teachers union in the state has yet to be reached.
School starts for students on Monday, and the Clark County Education Association is holding out for a district-wide raises and an increase in base salary for certain workers. It says it's a necessary step in a district experiencing a critical teacher shortage, but the district insists those demands don't make financial sense.
Fox 5's Kim Passoff is here with the arguments from each side tonight.
Yeah, during the special meeting tonight, the board did approve new union contracts for both the education support employees and for school administrators and professional technical employees. A new teacher contract was not on the agenda. The school district did explain why it may seem that they have more money than they really do.
I'm seeing and I'm hearing, there's $2 billion that were allocated. There's historic funding by the governor, but there's a lot of moving parts around SB 231 and a lot of misinformation.
Superintendent Dr. Jesus Jara directed CCSD's chief financial officer to explain the education funding approved by the state this legislative session, including an increase in funding for CCSD to the tune of millions of dollars. Teachers say that they deserve some of that money in pay raises. The district went over why it is hard to make that happen: inflation and increasing utility cost, necessary upgrades for infrastructure like Wi-Fi and Chromebooks for all students, and a new cost, approximately $10 million for long-term substitute health care. The money approved under SB 231 is a one-time education budget boost of $250 million. But CCSD says that money will be split among all school districts in the state. They don't know how much they will get or if that funding will be renewed in the future.
I can't negotiate in good faith for our employees, for our students, with money that we don't have.
During public comment, teacher Kelly Edgar told the board when other districts and charter schools have increased educator pay, CCSD keeping teachers in limbo is driving some away.
So the idea that somehow this money just isn't available in the future is a ridiculous argument for not providing raises that are owed to our teachers.
And at the meeting, Trustee Brenda Zamora questioned why some parents are being charged a $20 tech fee for their students to take home Chromebooks this year if the district is paying for those. The superintendent said that should not be happening. There will be another meeting of the trustees that will happen next Thursday, and they will discuss a possible contract for the union that represents school police officers. Reporting live tonight, Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.